Hi everybody, Mrs. Norris here, and I'm going to show you the final step to our HyperDoc activity for the causes of the American Revolution. So this is, again, the final piece of our HyperDoc activity. So hopefully through your research and reading and video watching, you now have a better understanding of what caused the American Revolution and why colonists resented Britain so much that they decided to seek their independence. So, with this activity today, we're going to use that research of those laws that the colonists had to follow after the French and Indian War and apply what we learned to the creation, of an illustrated slideshow. So to begin, I just want to go over what the instructions are, and then I'll do my best to walk you through each one, okay? So first thing that you're going to do is you're going to create an account at mysimpleshow.com that uses your student Gmail account. Now, again, I'm going to go over these steps in a moment. I just want to review them for you right now. And before I move on, you can see that in my other window here, I have my finished and graded learn portion of the HyperDoc. And this is what I'm going to be using to help me to complete the apply portion. So if you don't have it open yet, at some point you will want to open that doc because that's going to be what guides you for your writing today. Okay, so scrolling down, I'm just going to make this window a little bit bigger for right now, and then I'll move it back to where it was so that I can see all of the steps. These are the steps to getting started. So for step one, once we've created our account on mysimpleshow.com, we're going to click on create a new video. We're going to name our project Causes of the American Revolution, and this is different from the title. This is just the file name, if you will. And we're going to select write your own script, which again is the reason why we have our learn portion of the HyperDoc open. Okay. They'll give you a little tutorial, and the tutorial is going to be an overview of what My Simple Show is. So please watch that tutorial. It's very short. It's about 2 minutes. Okay. Step number 4 is we're going to click on educational. So we're going to click on the educational tab, and we're going to select explain a historical event. Okay, so if it doesn't show up first, because I have done this in the past, it does tend to be my first one. You may have to search for it, and that's pretty easy to do. Okay, after you do that, it's going to give you another short little tutorial that's going to show you the writing portion of this, and then you will start writing on the next page. And there's an outline below that I'm going to go over in just a moment. I just wanted to show you that on this outline, you'll see that it says 150 words. And that's because for each section in the bottom right-hand corner, it tells you how many words should be in that section. So I know 150 words when you first look at it seems very daunting, like it seems like it's a lot, but actually it goes very quickly. So don't be discouraged by the number of words. I just wanted to give you an idea, since so many of you ask me how many sentences does it have to be, how long does the paragraph have to be. This is your guiding factor, how many words are in each section. And again, it goes very quickly. So please don't be discouraged by how high you think that number is. Okay. And if you're within 10 words of that, that's fine. If you get to 540 or 465, that's fine. Just make sure that you're ending with a complete sentence, not just stopping because that's how many words you have. Okay. So let's look at our outline, and each of these you can kind of see from the picture here, it's broken down into title, historical context, turning point, the event, the short-term results, the long-term consequences. So each of these, what I've highlighted orange sections, they have their own box. So you can kind of see it. It says title. You can see historical context. So they are their own box, each one. Okay, so you're going to give your project a title and a 1-sentence subheading that summarizes your show. Your historical context is sort of like your what started it all. So, what I would like for you to do is briefly explain how the French and Indian War, or the 7 Years' War, had just ended and how this resulted in new taxes for the colonists. So, you're going to obviously want to discuss how the British government felt like the colonists need to pay for the war, and so they started imposing taxes to collect money from them. And then choose 2 or 3 examples of the new taxes, because you're not really going to focus on those taxes with this writing, but I do want to know what you learned. So, for example, one of the taxes was the Stamp Act. And so you could say, just a brief summary: the Stamp Act, which imposed a tax on all things paper that the colonists use. Okay, so that's just a very quick summary. It doesn't have to be anything too detailed. All right, because again, those 550 words, they're going to go quickly. All right. So the next section is turning point. So what event do you think pushed the colonists over the edge? So of all of the events that you researched, which one do you think was the most unifying to them, the one that really pushed them all to come together and seek their independence from Britain? So introduce that event. You're not going to give a description yet. Just introduce it, the event you researched that you believe was the final straw that really united the colonists to seek independence. Okay. The event itself, and so for this one, is where you're actually going to describe that event that you've chosen with details from your research. So if you choose, for example, and Thomas Paine's Common Sense, you're going to tell me about it now based on what you researched. Who wrote it? Why did they write it? How did it get to the people? What was it about? Those kinds of things. So the event is where you're actually describing the event using details from your research. Okay. Now there's short-term results and long-term consequences, and consequences aren't always a negative thing. So short-term is, in that immediate moment, what was the outcome? So, for example, in that immediate moment, the Common Sense by Thomas Paine was distributed to hundreds of thousands of people with his anonymous pamphlet. And that really was in my opinion, or in the writer's opinion, the unifying factor of what got all of the colonists together. They started to realize, hey, wait, this is a big deal, and we shouldn't be putting up with this, and we should seek our independence. And then the long term is the bigger picture. So to use Common Sense as an example, the bigger picture would be, well, it's what really took us to the next step of writing the Declaration of Independence. Okay. So again, each section has its own little box, and it will tell you in the bottom right-hand corner how many words you have left for your total. Don't be discouraged by the numbers, because I promise you they'll go really quickly. And if you run to be about 10 words less than each section allows for, that's okay. Just don't end on an incomplete sentence because you ran out of words. Okay. So after you've written your script, and make sure that you've, checked your spelling and your grammar and all that kind of stuff, you're going to bring your script to life, and it's going to give you a little tutorial again. Okay. And then this is the piece where you put it, the program itself will choose pictures for you based on what you wrote, and then you can change those pictures however you want. Use the tools, which it will discuss in its own tutorial. Use the search tool to find a picture that you think might be better. Okay. And then finalize your show. Again, another brief little tutorial, about 2 minutes, where they show you what that means. Set your privacy settings. So we're going to keep it public so you can share it with me and your video quality SD, and then hit OK. And then submit your project. So on the next and final screen in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see a picture that looks like this with the link to your project. Okay. You're going to copy that link and then come back to this assignment and click on the submit assignment. That's going to be up at the very top here. Okay. And then you're going to paste the link and submit. All right, so that's how to complete this project. And again, you're going to want to have your Learn document open in a separate window, because this is going to be your guiding writing factor. This is all of your research that you did, so this is where your writing is going to come from. Okay, so let me start here with the website. So I'm going to go back up to the top into My Simple Show. Okay, and we want to create a new account, which for me, I've already created an account. So you're gonna, if you get to this screen, you're gonna click log in, and you're gonna sign in with your, or we don't have an account, sorry, so we're gonna sign up. Okay, so down at the bottom here, sign up. Okay, and you wanna sign up with Google, and I'm gonna choose my student account. Okay, so now you see that I have the first step of creating a new video. So I'm going to click on create a new video. It tells me I need to name my project and select write your own script. So I'm naming it Causes of the American Revolution. Okay, and then I'm going to write my own script. Okay. Now, the video should be there. There we go. Here is our tutorial. So you're going to watch this tutorial. Okay. So I'm going to pause my tutorial and watch this one. So if you are with me, when I pause my tutorial, you pause my tutorial as well and watch this one. Okay. Okay, so I've watched my tutorial, so I'm going to X here. Now, again, because I haven't done this with my student account, I am going to need to find the one that I as your teacher am asking you to do. So for step 4, we just did watch the tutorial. Now we're going to click on education and select explain a historical event. So I'm going to click on educational, and it's the first one here as well, explain a historical event. Okay, and again, we have another tutorial. So I'm going to pause my tutorial and watch the Simple Show tutorial. You do the same. All right, so I've watched this next tutorial where it explained to me the writing process, and now I'm going to do my writing. So at this point, pause the tutorial again, okay, and start working through your outline. All right, so we have again the title, which we have here, and when you click on it, that's where you get your numbers. So you're going to type your title here, your historical context, your turning point, and all of that stuff. All right. So at this point, what I'd like for you to do is pause my tutorial and complete the writing portion of this activity. So you're going to go ahead and pause this tutorial, my tutorial, and kind of work through the outline using your Learn notes that you took your research from the Learn HyperDoc activity. So pause this video and complete the writing outline for me. Okay, so I have written my script and I'm ready to move on to the next piece, which is to bring my script to life. So I've already checked my spelling and my grammar, and I've made sure that this is how I want my project to go. You know, you followed the directions for each section, and now you're ready to bring it to life. Okay, so when you click on it, it's going to take you to a screen that shows that is another brief tutorial. Again, these tutorials are 1-2 minutes long, not very long. And it's going to explain to you how to use this piece. So if you're still watching my tutorial, then pause my tutorial and watch the My Simple Show tutorial now. Okay, so I've watched my tutorial I'm going to go ahead and close this window. And you can see my finished work. Okay, so here, these words that are blue, and if you just watch the tutorial, this is new. This is nothing new for you, are the words that they have chosen for me to create illustrations for. Okay, and the number countdown at the bottom tells me how many characters or illustrations I still have left to add in if I want to add more. All right. And if there's something that I want to add, like for example, if I want to add one to, I don't have any left on this. So let me see if I can find one. Goods. Right? But I don't like that version of goods. I can choose something else. Like I can choose this one if I would like. And if I don't like it, then I just delete it. And now I'm back to having one remaining illustration and then the other illustrations that I've already edited. Okay. Now, if I have to make an edit to the text, I can't go back at this point and do that. So what I need to do is click on edit text and it will allow me to edit the text from there. Okay. Let's hope that this was messing up earlier. Let's hope it works now. Okay. So again, once I make changes, because these don't all always work, right? Like this is a football. This is not going to help me. And I don't even really need the word approach. So if I hover over it, I can click on the minus button and it will take it away. But I can add, let's see if I can add in the colonies here, which they don't really have a picture of. So I'm going to do a search. I don't know what that has to do with anything. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete that because that doesn't work either. Maybe soldiers. And I can do ones that are closer to British. Okay. Angry. And so I'm kind of keeping track of how many I have down here. I've already used that one. I'm trying to use different ones that I haven't used already. Okay, and then again, I can move them around. I don't like that one for taxes, so if I want, I can write tax here and search that in. That one's a little better. Again, I'm trying not to reuse pictures, so when I come across one, I try to find something I haven't used already. So again, I'm just going to work through these like this. This doesn't work for me, so I want to find something different for what is it, common sense. Like that doesn't make any sense why I would use that. So again, I'm going to edit each of my pictures. Okay. And I'm going to, if I like it, I'm going to keep it. If it makes sense, I'm going to keep it. If it doesn't, then I'm going to get rid of it and find something new. Okay. So once I've found all of my pictures and I've brought my script to life, and then I'm going to finalize my show. And again, it's going to give me a tutorial. If I want to, I can play the video to kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like before I turn it in. So that's a good suggestion to do, is play the video first before you finalize it. Make sure it looks how you want it to look and then click finalize. And again, there'll be a little tutorial for you to watch. So I'm going to go ahead and pause my tutorial and watch the simple show tutorial. Okay, so I watched that tutorial. I'm going to X out of it here. And I can make changes to the people. Now, because we're using the free version, we don't really have an opportunity to use all of these, but at least it's some kind of option. We can add subtitles if we want. Oh, no, I guess we can't because it's, again, a free one. So we can, we're not paying for this, so we're just using the basic ones. And then, we don't have a whole lot of options, but whatever options I have, I'm going to make changes. And then I'm going to finalize the video. Okay. So once I finalize the video, I'm given this option to set my privacy. Now, before I finalize it, I do again want to play it, because when I play it, that's going to show me what it's going to look like. And I want to turn in my best work. So if I want to make any editing changes after I play it, I want to do that before I finalize my video. So I'm public and SD, again, our only options because we're not paying. And then I'm going to go ahead and click OK. So we're going to allow it to think to finalize. All right. And then in the next screen is where we're going to find the link to copy and then submit and paste. Okay. So all right. So they're finalizing my video, but I still have the option to link it. So when I just clicked on it, it says the link was copied. If it doesn't show that, I can Command A and Command C or copy from however I usually do, and then come back. And I'm going to go up to the top to the submit button. And then website URL, I'm going to paste. Okay. I don't need any comments at all. I'm just going to submit. And then once you've gotten your, what did I get today? Pandas. Once you've gotten your little successful submitted, then you are done with this activity.